The Bronco slowly wheels up the cobblestone driveway. Simpson is still hidden from view. Then, Jason Simpson, OJ's 20-year-old son from his first marriage, chases after the Bronco and is nearly run over by one of the police units following his father.
His heels actually kicked my front bumper. My thought at that moment was if he falls down, he's nothing more than a speed bump for me because there's no way I can stop.
Jason reaches the car, and two SWAT officers quickly restrain him and take him into the house. The incident with his son seems to unhinge Simpson, who drops the cell phone.
OJ?
No, they don't have to put him down. You don't have to put him down. I just want you to know I would never, ever hurt any of you guys. I'd never point anything at you.
Then, for the first time, OJ Simpson sits up and shows himself.
He had the barrel of a weapon that he had his chin resting on it, just like this, and with the appearance that he certainly had the wherewithal to commit suicide.
A SWAT negotiator takes over for Detective Lang. He tells Simpson to put his weapon down, exit the Bronco, and surrender. Suddenly, OJ's cell phone goes dead. Cowlings is sent into the house to get another phone. Standing just a few feet away, negotiators can now talk directly to Simpson. OJ takes the gun away from his head, remains in the car. A crowd and news crews watch from across the street.
There are hundreds of people of different colors, of different ages. It was more of a block party atmosphere.
Millions are also watching at home.
And I kept thinking, don't shoot yourself. Don't shoot yourself. I have to know how this ends.
I thought he was gonna die. And it would have been sad because his kids would have been orphaned.
With nightfall approaching, SWAT team leader Mike Albanese senses Simpson is beginning to weaken.
I think he was waiting till it got dark before he surrendered, so that the media and everybody else couldn't film or see him surrender.
Albanese remains calm, slowly gains Simpson's confidence, and wears him down.
Then he made the declaration, just like that. He said, "I'm coming out."
8:53 p.m. 56 minutes after arriving at his home, OJ exits the Bronco, holding photos of Nicole and their children, Justin and Sydney.
He was kind of crouched over like this and kind of shuffled and literally collapsed in our arms.
Simpson is now in police custody. He is taken into the house, where he calls his 72-year-old mother, Eunice, to tell her he is safe. The media event that was his flight from justice would now give way to an even greater spectacle.
I thought, you know, there is going to be a trial. And these people that are saying, go Juice, go, and go OJ, and, you know, the whole thing, they're going to finally understand and they're going to realize exactly what this man did.
That's next on Minute by Minute. Where were you during the OJ Simpson Bronco chase? Tell us at ane.com. And now, back to Minute by Minute. June 17th, 1994, 9 p.m. After a 10-hour flight from the police, OJ Simpson is in custody at his Brentwood home. He is handcuffed and taken to a waiting cruiser. SWAT team leader Mike Albanese has led the tense negotiation.
It's just like immediate relief. It's like, okay, we're there. We're not finished working yet, but we have OJ.
The LAPD sends two unmarked cars out of OJ Simpson's estate. One is a decoy to confuse reporters. The other takes OJ on the 30-minute ride to the men's central jail. In the back seat of the Bronco, police find a loaded .357 Magnum handgun, a fake mustache and goatee, and Simpson's passport. Al Cowlings, who was also taken into custody, is carrying nearly $9,000 in cash. Freelance helicopter pilot Dirk Valley returns to Van Nuys Airport. KNBC pleads with him to go up one more time for the shots of OJ on the way to jail, but for safety reasons, he refuses.
I just felt tired, had talked to the station, told them it's like, look, I need to wrap this up. I want to get back on the ground. It's, been kind of a trying day.
Santa Ana officer Jay Miller arrives home to an answering machine filled with messages from friends who recognized his unit during the pursuit.
There was also a phone call from my ex-wife
informing me that they had seen me on television, that were glad that I was fine, and oh, by the way, the divorce is final today. And talk to you later, bye. So it was a perfect end to just a perfect day.
Alita Boston is so moved by the plight of O.J. Simpson that she decides to drive to his home. After seeing the chase on television, she has memorized the directions to Rockingham.
I had this poster board, a green poster board, and I thought, you know, I just wrote OJ's innocent. We sent my son to put the sign on the gate, and the next time we saw the sign, which was on the news, it was covered with all well-wishers.
January 23rd, 1995. 7 months after the Bronco chase, the nation's attention is on Los Angeles County Court as opening arguments begin in O.J. Simpson's criminal trial. KNBC reporter Conan Nolan covers the trial.
All of a sudden, people are looking at a trial, a case that involves O.J. Simpson and his beautiful wife in Brentwood. You have Playboy playmates that are being sworn in as witnesses.
Simpson's guilt or innocence becomes a matter for national debate.
There were a lot of people who took one side or the other. And usually, if you were black or minority or had problems with the police, you lined up on one side. If you didn't, you lined up on the other.
The prosecution decides not to introduce the Bronco chase into evidence, though O.J.'s flight and suicide threat appear to many to be the actions of a guilty man.
What does this say about our justice system? What does this say about Marcia Clark not even putting it into evidence, this Bronco chase?
Prosecutors have said that introducing the chase would have given the defense a chance to call witnesses like A.C. Cowlings, who was sympathetic to Simpson. But many legal experts call the decision a terrible mistake. Simpson's legal team includes Robert Shapiro and Johnny Cochran. They mount a vigorous and effective defense, alleging police misconduct, racism, and evidence tampering.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder.
O.J. Simpson is acquitted on October 3rd, 1995. The verdict is televised, and approximately 95 million people tune in. Their reactions show just how racially divided over the case the country has become.
I never witnessed the human emotions that arose based on your perspective of who was guilty, who was not. It almost even divided Los Angeles in two.
The verdict brings Simpson's threats of suicide to Denise Brown's mind.
I thought, Jesus, if he just would have done it, our lives would have been so much simpler. And it would have been done, boom, boom, right away.
He's a murderer, and he got away with it. There's no other way to explain that.
Al Cowlings, the driver of the Bronco, is never prosecuted for his part in the Bronco chase. February 4th, 1997. A year and a half after the criminal verdict, the Brown and Goldman families win a wrongful death civil suit against O.J. Simpson. The jury finds Simpson responsible for the murders and levies a $33 million judgment against him.
How grateful and how thankful.
The Bronco chase and the trials that followed changed the lives of many of those who witnessed and covered it.
O.J. hit to the core, to the heart of what America is and what America goes through and the problems of America. Race was an issue, the police, how we look at authority. What do you believe? What do you believe in America?
Witnessing this was truly amazing because you knew really nothing had happened like it before, and there's a good chance nothing will happen like it again.